All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, and to the Bahashem, the house of David. This is Men of Valor, Las Vegas camp, all right, with the Passover camp. Lord willing, be edifying unto the body. Hey, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into camp. Slocky, a little allergy, a little congested. All right.
Revelation 13:15 says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
All right, so what you're hearing is about this image of the beast. All right, this system. All right, this digital system that's coming into play. All right, which is leading to the Quran. So you hear about Neuralink. You hear about the RFID chip. All right, Creepy Joe just passed a digital bill. All right, just passed the digital bill pursuant to the what's called digital currency. All right, and what do you think that's going to implement? All right, there's certain things, certain laws that have to be put into place before the Karagma can come. All right, and this is the groundwork that's happening. All right, also the previous groundwork. All right, the Icky Vicky. All right, the jump shot. All right, those are the things that keep on leading up to this hour of temptation. All right, you have these trials with Elon Musk. All right, who's with the FDA, the FDA right now, trying to get human trials going on. All right, he did it with pigs, he did it with monkeys for his Neuralink, and now he's trying to do it with humans as well. All right, so it's only a matter of time as you're seeing these things amplify and build up. Okay.
That's all I'm saying. It's just speaking, it's speaking, through how it's becoming more prevalent in the news, and we're seeing these new, this new technology way, amp up.
And that's why they're starting to push. They're starting to push this 5G even more. All right. Earlier in the year, at the beginning of the year as well, at the end of 2021, what did they say? Your phones are going to be obsolete that are 4G. All right. So now here we are coming into the Internet of Things, and you're seeing you're starting to have trouble with certain signals. Okay.
Verse 16, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their forehead.
Right, where does the Neuralink go? Neuralink goes in your forehead. Right, it goes in the top of your head, which therefore puts it behind your forehead. Right, as you see in these other companies, they put it in your in your right hand. All right, for these companies, you can go to your local tattoo artist, right, to get this done. Whether it be right now for your cars or for convenience. All right, look back into the ID 2020. All right, this is that agenda where biotechnology, all right, is being ushered in. All right, they want to have all your information and your financial information. All right, so if I can put all your information and give you your financial information and switch this to a digital system, why not put it all on one thing? All right, why not put it on something that has the capability to hold multiple things? All right, that's why it's the Internet of Things. All right, that charagma is no different than a processor that you have in your computer. No different than a processor that you have in your phone. All right, so it's going to be able to hold that amount of information and even more.
That's why the government is, they're they say that this going digital, the digital banking system is safer, it's safer for your finances, it stores everything in one place. But what that also allows them is them to be able to track you.
And we know they can track you through your cell phones and everything right now. Like we're aware that all that happens. But how much more they're going to sell this to you as a sense of false security? All right, hey, nobody will be able to take it. Nobody is going to be able to steal that from you. There goes away with identity theft. All right, these are tactics, strategic tactics. All right, and verbiage that they're going to use for you. All right, so you can fall in that hour of temptation. All right, but don't be fooled.
They turn bitter pursuit. They make something that seems, they make something appealing to you, to lure you into it. That's those incentives.
God, hey, there will be incentives. At first, they're going to try to give you. They're going to say, "Hey, we're going to give you like however much digital currency," and then when you don't take it, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be forced to take it.
It's like with the jump shot right now. Now they're putting programs in place that if you got all your updates on this on this jump shot, then they're going to start giving you food and making your life a little bit easier. Since these gas prices and inflation, and the inflation of food is going up now. All right, so those are the incentives to look out for, and this jump shot being the precursor to the MOTB.
No, what is it? What is it supposed to be? It's supposed to be food prices supposed to go up 8 to 20%.
I believe 18 to 22%. Yeah, and that's going to happen soon. Probably like 3 months from now. If that.
Hey, you already see gas is rising about 10%, 10 cents a day. That's the average right now that is rising. All right.
And we know all this is part of these plans to lure us into that trap, to lure the common folk, because you can't deceive the elect, but to lure the common folk and the people that don't know any better, to trap them. That's that snare he's like.
Yeah, I got one. It's lucky. This is the book of Second Esdras. It's going to be chapter 14 and verse 13, and it reads, Now therefore set thy house in order, and reprove thy people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Continue on, verse 14. Verse 14. Let go from the mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature. All right, so put off the weak nature. It's lucky. Put off the weak nature for everything that's coming. All right, let go of the mortal thoughts, because here it is. Men are out on the highways and byways telling you and giving you prophecy. All right, the prophecy telling you before time. All right, having these things in similitude. Don't just take our word for it. Look it up. All right, look at the scriptures and then look at the scriptures and then look in real time. All right, Elon Musk, his Neuralink, where does it go? All right, that's a real time effort. All right, these companies in Sweden that had the RFID, right, in the digital system, and look at China's what do they call it, social credit score stuff. Yeah, social credit system. All right, all these things are coming into play.
And that's sloppy. And that social credit system is based on your behavior and your activities.
Right. So, hey, and like the brother was saying, they're giving you incentives now. If you're all jump shot up, right? If you got all the jump shots, you're getting little incentives to put you to cause that division, so you can be above.
They're setting up that was
God.
pretty much only accessible to to people that are have all the updates, let's call it that. Hey, and that's talking about China, that's why these nations, they're looking towards Taiwan, because they control the manufacturing of all these RFID chips. So that's why Taiwan is a place of let's go. That's why Taiwan's wanted, and it's because of what they have to offer.
So that's the actually usher in who's going to have the more of the finances.
Right. And that's who's gonna whoever has it. We know that it's not gonna get there, but they're fighting over Taiwan because whoever controls Taiwan is gonna have that top power in the New World Order. Would because we know that prophecy doesn't allow that.
God. So that's why Yahweh Shabbat says, let go of your mortal thoughts. Don't worry about the things that are supposed to take place in this wicked kingdom. As far as their prophecy, their vain prophecy. All right, their vain desires. Salakia, that's a better way to say it.
Right, they just have their wants,
God.
Their plans,
Right.
You get anything in that scripture out?
No, not yet.
Okay. Oh, and Slakia, not only that, but saw a video where they were talking about, which is soon to come, if you're all juiced up, that they'll start handing out free food from the stores. So it's
that's
interesting. Yeah, that's that.
Those on the benefits of the updates. When they're all updated, if they go and show this, that they're gonna start giving them those free handouts.
Right, you're gonna be able to get a meal for your household. Right.
You said they're gonna supply them with groceries and I think it was just groceries for right now, but it's gonna be shelter soon.
Right.
They don't send you the straightaway ticket to one of them FEMA camps.
Right. Hey, you guys, don't forget.
For a minute, y'all gonna think it's a good thing,
Yeah, and don't forget, because as food prices go up, as gas goes up, rent goes up, healthcare goes up. All right, maintenance goes up. Everything goes up. It's not just these one or two things that go up. Everything goes up. All right, and most of your apartment complexes and your baking. All right, if you bought a house, unless you have like a fixed rate finance, all right, or something like that, hey, expect your stuff to go up. All right, expect it to go up.
And during times of war, all resources, food, water, supplies, ammo, everything is focused on the war effort. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of this stuff is going to go up.
Matthew 19:24 says, "And I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of the Most High." So these worldly, the carnal, the carnal ain't gonna make it. The carnal wants, desires, lusts, needs. that's not gonna make it into the kingdom of heaven. So when his disciples heard it, they were exceedingly amazed, saying, "Who then can be saved?" But Yahushua beheld them and said unto them, "With men this is impossible, but with the Most High all things are possible." That's the point right there. That's why we renew ourselves in the mind, and go after spiritual things. Because Yahweh Shemi Shai can save us in a twinkling of an eye. Can change our bodies. Can get us up out of here with the chariots through faith. And the mercy and the sacrifice of Yahweh Shai for him pleading with the nation for his nation.
It's the book of Second Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 3. Fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. All right. So when these powers that be, all right, are given these things for the people that are upgraded with that jump shot, all right, and Salakia, that are upgraded with that jump shot, all right, don't worry about it. All right. Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, roughly paraphrase the scripture, said, "Hey, my servants will eat." All right. My servants will eat. And he also said we would mock and laugh at their fear and their calamity. All right. In that spirit of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai. All right. For these wicked people continuing to believe on this system, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. Whose salvation belongeth unto first and foremost. All right. The first and foremost, the elect, the 1/3. All right. Their salvation is not for any other nation. All right. So this hour of temptation, as we know, is going to come upon the whole world. Everybody's going to be tried, but it only really matters about the children of Israel. God, the elect of Israel. Hey, but through the Spirit, it matters about other Israel too, because they have to be marked. They have to be marked for their wickedness, for their let me continue to read this. This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. All right? That is exactly why the 2/3 have to continue. Right? They're going to continue in that lot, so they are marked by Yahweh Shemi Shai for their unfaithfulness. All right, because they cared not.
Right, we're at a point, in time right now that this truth's been going out for years. So if you ain't woke up yet, or some will wake up in the very last minutes, coming down when it boils down to the faith. But that's only for they're already sealed though. But that faith is gonna direct you into the right path. Because if you don't have that faith, then you're gonna fall into these traps. You're gonna fall into woe into those that go to Egypt for help.
God.
Those are the same people that are going and gonna get take this MOTB.
God. Right? To believe that they're in a good case.
And especially for you, those of you that know that you are of this stick, and of the nation of Israel, your lack of faith is what's going to lead to your demise.
Right.
This is Joshua 1 and 9. It says, "Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy power is with thee, whithersoever thou goest."
Hey, Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai is with us wherever we go. All right. if we call upon his name, lean upon Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in faith, in truth, in sincerity. All right, acknowledging our flaws, acknowledging our sins, and repenting. All right, not leaning upon our own understanding. All right, you got men out on the highways and byways. All right, and on these platforms, mainly YouTube. All right, but teaching. All right, teaching and preaching. Hey, if you don't have the ability to get out of the house, all right, you have it on the platform. Okay, you have an opportunity. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has given every opportunity for you to hear this word.
To get that stability,
God.
to get that armor, that's necessary to fight off the walls of the devil.
Isaiah 33:6. Thy wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
God. That's exactly what you need. The fear of the Lord. All right. You have to submit yourself to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You have to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and stop leaning upon your own understanding. Stop leaning upon this Christianity doctrine. All right, this Babylonian juice.
Because in that hour of temptation, this MOTB is gonna look like it's for those that are unfaithful and unwise, and not girded with this truth. That's gonna look like the only option.
God.
That's gonna look like the only way out.
Hey, that's when it comes back to faith. What is faith? All right, faith is literally not seeing something. All right, not seeing something, but believing upon it. All right, roughly paraphrasing.
Substance of all things hoped for.
God, it's lucky.
So what's the evidence of something not seen? It's faith.
Faith. All right. I got one. It's going to be 2nd Esdras chapter 14 and verse 34, and it reads, "Therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts, ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy." All right, so even if you have to die for this truth, all right, even if you have to die, all right, not wanting to receive that not want to receive that charagma, all right, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will take care of you. All right, he says, "Be thou faithful until death." All right. Go ahead. Revelation. Finish that out.
This is Revelation 13. Revelation 13 and 17 says, "And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name."
God. So nobody's going to be able to buy or sell. All right. Hey, and what are the worldly transactions typically of? Buying and selling. All right. The barter agreement has been done a long time ago. You might be able to barter here and there, some places, with some people directly, all right, for a service. But for the most part of day-to-day life, I need that money. I need those greenbacks. I need that digital currency.
Yeah, you gonna go into your job one day after they implement this. They're gonna be like, "Well, we're holding your check until we see that you're up to date,
right,
in your banking system."
Right, and it's gonna be lawful for them.
Right, they're gonna be able to get away with it.
Hey, that's why all these unrighteous decrees are coming down. All right, they continue they continue the affliction of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, through their policies, all right, through their food, through their music, and the whole 9 yards. All right, and slack it, and all those things are helping you get to that hour of temptation, so you can find so that gradualism, so that acceptance gradually. All right. Hey, what a while ago? What was it? What was that dude that had the diamond in his head? Little Uzi, and then it got ripped out. All right. Hey, there was that acceptance right there.
Every movie you can think of.
Right. Every movie you can think of. Hey, and
they actually had that credit.
Yep.
What's that called again?
Squid Games.
No, Squid Games, but credit score. Social credit score. They had that in Westbrook,
Yep.
and I think like the third season. You know.
And
then they had to do certain jobs. Pretty much the job that they would be able to get or do was based on what kind of score they had.
Hey, take it even further back. All right, show you how these devils work and how this has been a plan for a long time. Take it all the way back to the Bionic Man, and then take it to Gattaca. All right, Gattaca was the social engineering. All right, of DNA. All right, and they had that specific job. Right, you couldn't do anything more than what you were designed to do. All right, and if you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix right now. Take a look at it.
Oh, and then I was just watching Kingsman. And in Kingsman, the first. So with Samuel L. Jackson, he's going to pretty much that chipping party. When he's gonna knock out everybody else in the world. The first plane that they show get there is from Sweden. And that was ironic because that's the first country that implemented it.
Right. Hey, and then you got that movie is so spiritual. If you look at it, when all their heads explode, it's all little mushroom clouds.
Right. Mushroom clouds, colorful.
All right. Hey, but that goes to show you. Hey, these devils know what's going on, and they work with gradualism. All right, they continue with this gradualism gradually. It has not failed. All right, just like we read the scripts and we believe upon these scriptures. All right, Esau Edom chiefly uses these movies as their Bible. All right. They actually have in the Illuminati. They actually are supposed to go see certain movies to get certain messages. All right. It's like what am I trying to say? Decoding. All right. It's like the Da Vinci Code, but there's certain scenes in movies, right, and certain lines in script that are numbered. They are told a certain number to look out for, and what scene or what word to look out for, and then they sit there and they study through their algorithm that they have already studied for so long. Right. Now it's time to do this, so they can implement whatever they need in any city, any country that they are in. All right. Hey man, this devil is clever, right? Yeah. Clever. All right. Always on time. Got you on candy camera. All right. Well, let's drop over to Exodus 19. Start.
This is the book of Exodus 19, verse 3. And Moses went up into the Most High, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself.
God. So Yahweh Shimei Shai brought the children of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans whose father's line goes back. All right? He brought you unto himself. All right? To be a special, peculiar people. All right? So that you could be his servant directly. All right? So you could be his people. All right? Josh, you can bring that up. Yeah, read down one first, Salakia, but I wanted you to get that. You let it go, didn't you?
I'm still holding it.
Oh, I thought you let it go. No, yeah, I want you to read it, but read it after this.
Exodus 19 and 5 says, now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine.
God, if you will obey my voice indeed, all right, and keep my covenants, you should be a peculiar treasure unto me. All right, that means you should be special. You should be holy and be separate. Matter of fact, before you get there, let me get Deuteronomy 11. There. Yeah. 26. I got it. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, and verse 26. And it reads, behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. 27. A blessing if you obey the commandments of Yahweh, your power, which I command you this day. And a curse if ye will not obey the commandments of Yahweh, your power, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known. All right, so us not hearkening unto Yahweh by Shimei Shai's word, all right, disobeying, all right, and going off from the law, statutes, and commandments. Hey, going off from the law, statutes, and commandments, all right, we were punished. All right, we were punished from the foundation of our great deliverance. All right, which hints we're in the Passover. All right, the Passover was the time where we were being delivered. All right, it was a part of the process of the delivery. All right, of the children of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. Go ahead, Darash.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 89, verse 26. He shall cry unto me, thou art my father, my power, and the rock of my salvation. Verse 27. Also, I will make him my firstborn, higher than the kings of the earth. My mercy will I keep for him forevermore, and my covenant shall stand fast with him.
So who is he talking about? All right, who's the covenant going to stand fast with? First and foremost, it's talking about Yahweh Shai, but it's also talking about the children of Israel. The children of Israel. All right, Jacob. All right, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, read that last verse again.
Psalms chapter 89, verse 28. My mercy will I keep for him forevermore, and my covenant shall stand fast with him.
All right, stand fast with him. Go ahead.
Verse 30. If his children forsake my law and walk not in my judgments. Verse 31. If they break my statutes and keep not my commandments. Verse 32. Then will I visit their transgression with the rod and their iniquity with stripes.
God. All right, that's Yahweh Shimei Shai. We're showing back to Deuteronomy chapter 11, verses 26 through 28. All right, but he still kept his love for the nation of Israel. All right, even though we're being chastised, even though Yahweh Shimei Shai was mad. All right, and kicking our ass. All right? Got something? You got one more on that, right? One more? No. All right? So, Yahweh Shemi Shai is correcting our steps, right? This whole process is a correction. All right, here it is. Yahweh Shemi Shai gave us the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, gave us, the nation of Israel, the law, statutes, and commandments. But we went off from. All right, he saved us from our bondage. All right, matter of fact.
I just have one little quick precept right here. And this is Exodus chapter 4, verse 22. It says, "And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord." "And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn." Verse 23, "And I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn."
Hey, so Yahweh Shai, all right, claimed Israel. All right, it is Israel who belongeth to Yahweh Shai. All right, we know the whole world belongs to him, but his people are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans whose father's line goes back. Right, matter of fact, Naresh, go ahead and pull out Exodus 3 and start at 10.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 3, verse 10. "Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt."
To bring forth the people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. All right? He brought the Israelites out of Egypt. Read that again. He said his people. All right? This was even before we had entered into the covenant.
Exodus chapter 3, verse 10. "Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, and that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt."
Right, because we were already chosen. All right? How were we chosen at this time? Who were we chosen through? All right? Abraham. All right? The promise was already given to Abraham's seed. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right? That's who the seed belonged to. That's who the promise belonged to. All right? As you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans whose father's line goes back. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 11. "And Moses said unto the power, Who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt?" Verse 12. "And he said, Certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, ye shall serve the power upon this mountain."
So Yahweh Shemi Shai sent a messenger, right? A messenger, which is what? A prophet. All right? He sent Moses, his prophet, all right, to tell his children, all right, that tell his children that I'm gonna save you. All right, and to tell Pharaoh, hey, let Pharaoh know to let my people go. All right, their time in your captivity is complete. All right, it is time for them to be back under their rightful owner. It is time for them to do the service as I commanded them to do. All right, you can drop down. Wind took it away.
Doing that to me. That's why I keep my fingers.
Let's say, drop down to you're on 12.
Yeah. Then, yeah. Verse 12.
Drop down to 15, and after you go to 15, after you go to 15, go to 4 and 20. You start at 21.
4 and 25.
4 and 21.
This is Exodus chapter 3, verse 15. And the power said, moreover, unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, the Lord power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob hath sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations.
So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is the power of Israel, all right? Is the power of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans whose father's line goes back. All right? Hey, you got something? Yeah.
This is Exodus chapter 4. This is the book of Exodus chapter 4, verse 21. And the Lord said unto Moses, when thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thine hand, but I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go.
What are some of those wonders that were done unto Pharaoh? All right, those wonders that are still talked about today. All right, the plague of locusts, the plague of darkness. It was said to be so dark. Oh, I stabbed myself. Rivers into blood. Yeah, the frogs, the boils. All right. Hey, and then killed off the livestock. All right, killed off the firstborns. All right. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and get into that right now. All right. Go ahead and read that again, Darash.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 21. And it says, and the Lord said unto Moses, when thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thine hand, but I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go.
He shall not let the people go. All right. So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, all right, knew that it wasn't going to let the people go. He hardened Pharaoh's heart. All right. For what reason? To show his power. All right. To make sure that everybody knew that him and him alone. All right. That Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is the power and controls all. All right. Go ahead. Continue down.
Verse 22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn.
Israel is my son, even my firstborn. All right, which consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, whose father's line goes back. All right, it doesn't matter about any other nation, any other people. If you're not of the nation of Israel, salvation is not unto you. All right. It doesn't matter if you're Chinese, Japanese, Ethiopian, Korean, Hindu, whatever. All right. African, it does not matter. All right. It is only for the nation of Israel. Okay. Go ahead.
Verse 23. And I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn.
All right, so here it is. Yahweh gave Pharaoh a chance, all right, to let his people go once again. All right. All he had to do was hearken unto his word, but he chose not. And then Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, said what? Read it again.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 23. And I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me.
Let my son go. All right. Son, Jacob. All right. The so-called Negro's line goes back. Let him go. All right. It is time for them to serve me. All right. But once again, as you read up, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai hardened Pharaoh's heart not to let him go. All right. Go ahead.
It says, and if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn.
Slay thy son, even thy firstborn. All right. So when that firstborn, all right, is that firstborn, that plague that went through. All right, that was a plague that went through. That was a plague that went through, all right, Egypt at this time. All right, to take away the firstborn. All right. Go ahead, scroll that direction.
Verse 24, and it came to pass by the way in the inn that the Lord met him and sought to kill him. Verse 25, then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet and said, surely a bloody husband art thou to me. Verse 26, so he let him go. Then she said, a bloody husband thou art because of the circumcision. Or, oh, that was going too far?
Yeah. Passover.
Proverbs 21 and 1. Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord as the rivers of water. It says he turneth it whithersoever he will. Yahweh Shem Yahushua was using Pharaoh, to display, his power. He hardened Pharaoh's heart, to keep the Israelites, longer in captivity. And to even though Pharaoh knew that he couldn't, he couldn't go up against Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and all the plagues that he was doing would destroy his kingdom, Yahweh Shem Yahushua puffed up his pride. What does it say? That the pride and haughtiness of men should be laid low. All right.
Exodus, go to Exodus 9 first. I wanted to get cattle first. Exodus 9.
Verse 8.
We can go 9 and verse 9 and verse 1.
Right? Because that's the ultimate power display, by Yahweh Shem Yahushua, when he could take off who you thought was untouchable, and make him look like nothing.
God.
That's what he's going to do again in over here in America.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 9, verse 1. Then the Lord said unto Moses, go in unto Pharaoh and tell him, thus saith the Lord, power of the Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me.
All right, so here it is. Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, is telling Pharaoh once again to let his people go so that we may serve him. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans whose father's line goes back. All right, at this time, we knew who we were. All right, we knew who we belonged to. Right, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai had been listening to the cries, us crying out. All right, for our bondage. Right, for the hell that we've been in. as we're crying out now in this hell that we're in now.
It was 430 years. You know, the Israelites were in captivity under Pharaoh.
Right?
Doing strenuous work.
Yeah, rigorous, rigorous work.
Building them pyramids. It wasn't no damn Anunnaki or you know,
lizard people,
right?
giants.
You
Yeah,
know, the giants of the day were the Israelites.
God.
You know,
All right, go ahead. Continue on that.
Verse 2, for if thou refuse to let them go, and wilt hold them still. Verse 3, behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thy cattle, which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain.
All right, so very grievous. Hey, and what is it talking about? It's talking about your livestock. All right, and especially in that day, hey, there was no tractors roaming around. There was no tractors gathering up or plowing the fields. All right, this was your livestock. This was your cattle to eat. All right, your sheep and goat. All right, as well as your ox, your horses, your mules to haul. All right, this was a system. This Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, broke this kingdom down systematically as he's breaking this one down. All right, as these American people are starting to see and notice that, hey, this place is not what it used to be. All right, go ahead.
If you wonder what a murrain is, that's talking about a pestilence, a plague. Verse 4, and the Lord shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, and there shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel.
So if you say that, hey, God, the so-called God, all right, or so-called who you call Jeebus, all right, that loves everybody, you are a lie. All right, clearly he doesn't love everybody. Read that again. All right, because he made a separation between the cattle. All right.
Exodus chapter 9, verse 4. And the Lord shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, and there shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel.
All right, so everything belonged unto the children of Israel, cattle, sheep, all right, goats, you name it, all right, was preserved. All right, goes to show you the clear distinction Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has for his people and other people. All right, and mainly at this time, Pharaoh. Right?
Because he had, the mark of salvation on his people.
God.
So they wouldn't get messed up, and Apostle Kabar brought out in a recent video, that he was landbacking off another video brother did. He said that, this truth is, spiritually the Passover, because it's giving that hedge, it's putting that hedge of protection over the elect, in the time of of these pestilences going out and the plagues going out, famine, and everything else, the elect's going to eat and still have that protection by Yahweh Shai, to make it out to fulfill these prophecies.
Right. Hey, and that goes to show Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is long suffering and merciful. All right, and merciful unto his people. All right, first and foremost, his nation, the nation of Israel. All right, I think you got 2 more scripts on that?
Yeah, I got it. All right, Exodus chapter.
And after you get that, jump over to 12.
Exodus chapter 9, verse 5. And the Lord appointed a set time, saying, tomorrow the Lord shall do this thing in the land. Verse 6, the Lord did that thing on the morrow. and all the cattle of Egypt died, but the cattle of the children of Israel died not one.
God, so all the cattle of Egypt died. All right, so there goes all your work. All right, plowing and tilling the fields. There goes your transportation at that time. All right. Hey, and looking at it modern day, this is pretty much what's happening to Egypt right now. All right, your horses are starting to fail. Why? Because your gas prices are so high. So that horsepower is starting to fail. All right. That famine of food, as you're seeing, they're starting to lock meat up. All right. They have a shortage on chicken, a shortage on beef. You know.
Pretty soon it's gonna be like, how you gotta go get liquor out of Walmart. You gotta wait for somebody to come open up the cabinet for you.
Right.
It's gonna be that for down there every.
Right. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if they make stealing food a felony.
Shall not return again until they come upon the earth.
Hey.
Those plagues, mainly we know that in 2nd Ezra 16 that it's talking about the missiles, but the plagues, talking about all the pestilences, that are coming upon this world right now. And knowing that the end is manifest, these are already, in action.
Right, and you can see it more relevant in other places around the world. Right.
It's already been in certain places.
Right now, Ukraine is experiencing their famine.
Right.
All right, you have North Korea, you have China. All right.
Just got hit harder,
Right.
And affected differently than, but it's all gonna come, to America soon. Just how the Crown Royal hit China and started hitting all the other Europe and shit first. And it took about 6 months before it hit America, right? It's gonna be the same thing. Just how out in Colombia earlier this year,
yeah,
their inflation went skyrocketed. It had $10 for a little ass bag of rice. Expect to see that here.
Right? You're gonna be like, I remember the good old days. That's what everybody's saying about gas right now. All right, you sound like, hey,
$3.50 look good right now.
Right, you sound like your grandparents. I remember when gas was a quarter. I remember when gas was $3.50.
Hey, but going back into the predictive programming, in I Am Legend, they had gas prices about where
they are
maybe
now.
a little bit lower than what they were now, depending on where you at.
Right.
Like $7 out in California and shit. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Trying to give me a bite.
Exodus 12.
That's what. Give me electric scooter. 12 and 29.
This is Exodus chapter 12, verse 29. And it came to pass that at midnight the Lord smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt.
Start at
27. No.
Start at 25.
This is Exodus chapter 12, verse 25. And it shall come to pass when ye be.
Start at 21. Just start at 21. I was like, let's just start at 20. Okay.
Exodus 12 and 21. Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families and kill the Passover.
All right, so here it is that Moses, all right, the prophet, all right, the leader of Israel at that time, all right, what did he do? He had direction, got direction from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, all right, to do what? To take a lamb without blemish, all right, and put it over the doorpost, slay it, and put the blood over the doorpost, all right, representing what? All right, representing that sacrifice, representing that that karagma, that not karagma, the exemption. I was trying not to say. Yeah, trying to for the salvation. All right, to be exempt in that day. A sign of exemption for the children of Israel. All right, go ahead.
Verse 22. And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, strike the lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin, and none of you shall go out at the door of his house until the morning.
All right, so at this time we would have being that it is the Passover today, you can't do that today. You be up under the jail, you do something like that, you have PETA or whatever the people coming at you, doing something like that. But it was a symbol for that time. All right, it was a symbol that exemption, all right, for the children of Israel. This was to be done. All right, because you have been chosen by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, go ahead.
That's where the truth is our exemption.
God.
And the good work, the teachings that we do, praise the Lord, have mercy. That's that exemption as of right now, because we can't
do certain things. God.
Chapter 12, verse 23. For the Lord will pass through to smite the Egyptians, and when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and on the two side posts, the Lord will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto your houses to smite you.
So this is, hey, like the brother said, this work that men out on the highways and byways are doing with truth and sincerity. All right, teaching the 144% true doctrine. All right, coming from Apostle Tahar on down, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Rakab, Apostle Rama, Apostle Gabar. All right, and the men up under them, teaching and preaching with all truth and sincerity, and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability. Right, men, women, and children. All right, who belong unto the nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, whose father's line go back. All right, read that again one more time.
Verse 23. For the Lord will pass through to smite the Egyptians, and when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and on the two side posts, the Lord will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto your houses to smite you.
Right. And like the brother said, once again, it's that work. It's that work that you're doing out on the highways and byways, listening, learning, teaching, and refraining from the ways of this world. All right, renewing your mind. All right, coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability.
Right.
Being, the righteous is scarcely saved, because that work, that death angel, which we know as that being Yahweh Shai, just going right past us, going right past the Israelites, and fighting the Egyptians.
God.
So that's why it's a heavy time, because there's a whole lot of death going out.
And at this time, this was all the nation of Israel, but not such in this time. All right. Right now, it's only for the elect, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel. All right. 2/3 will be cut off and died for their disobedience. All right. For taking that hour of temptation, for for their unfaithfulness.
Because at this point in time, Israel hadn't broke the covenant.
God,
That's why everybody was still, exempt.
God.
Verse 24. And ye shall observe this thing for an ordinance to thee and to thy sons forever. Verse 20.
So, hey, we should observe this for an ordinance forever. All right. This is the ordinance that we observe the times that we are in. We continue, all right, to do it to the best of our ability and perform it. All right. You're supposed to take heed to these things. Take heed to the times that we are in. All right, and know that and do your diligent search, because Passover is not fucking Easter. All right, it has nothing to do with the fucking bunny.
Right. It's not Easter if Yahweh Shai had Passover and then he was crucified.
Right.
Which Easter is just some random bullshit.
Right.
But they celebrated supposedly on the day that
He was resurrected.
Right? But how can Passover be that if
Right. How can Passover be that if it's way off? And just we're not even
talk about no
yeah.
bunnies.
You didn't talk about no bunnies and bunnies laying eggs.
Rabbits don't even lay eggs.
You know, this wayward doctrine that you got. God, go ahead. There's more on that. Is there more on that?
25. And it shall come to pass when ye be come to the land which the Lord will give you, according as he hath promised, that ye shall keep his service. Keep this service.
God, we keep the service, all right? We keep the service to the best of our ability, all right? Knowing and understanding through the will and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and being taught by the leaders of Israel, all right? And the men under them with sound doctrine, all right? Full 100% truth, all right? Understanding that Yahweh Shai, all right, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai had this ordinance go out, all right, and that Yahweh Shai was that death angel that came, all right. Matter of fact, to prove that, you want to grab that, and then grab. I will see. Keep lock in. Right. This will be the book of Exodus, chapter 23, and starting at verse 20, and it reads, Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is my name is in him. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then will I be an enemy unto thy enemies and an adversary unto thy adversary. Right? So Yahweh sent his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, for the nation of Israel. All right? And the point was in 21, and I'm going to read it again, book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 21. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgression, for my name is in him. All right? So, Yahweh sent his only begotten son for the nation of Israel. All right? And even though this death angel did not go unto the children of Israel at this particular time, right? He had the markings, right, on the post, on the header and the post, all right, so that he could try not to say that word. So you could be exempt, all right. So the nation of Israel could be exempt from that, all right.
Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 15. Thine almighty word leaped down from heaven out of thy royal throne as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction, and brought thine unfeigned commandment as a sharp sword, and standing up filled all things with death, and it touched the heaven, but it stood upon the earth.
Hey, Yahweh sent Yahweh Shai down, all right, to plead with Pharaoh, all right, at that time, all right, because Pharaoh didn't want to hearken unto the words that were given by Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai, all right. So therefore, hey, that angel in the word, which we know is Yahweh Shai, came down and did away with the firstborn of Pharaoh's Egypt, right?
That's what got
really got his attention.
Pharaoh to break, you know. Now you got your wife.
And your heir is gone.
Right.
There's no heir to your so-called throne.
Like, you know, if you ever watch, you know, any movie in that Exodus city, the prince of Egypt, like, that's one how, you know, destroyed they
Yep.
And grab this right. Wisdom of Solomon 17 and verse 12, it says, for fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offereth, and the expectation from within, being less, counteth the ignorance more than cause which bringeth the torment. But they sleeping saying, sleep that night, which were indeed intolerable, and which came up upon them out of the bottoms of inevitable hell. This is the mind state, you know, that pain and suffering that was put on the Egyptians.
Right. And it didn't let up.
It was haunting them.
Hey, that's why they call Yahweh. All right, he was called Al-Shadia.
Yeah.
All right, that demon-like power. All right, to know the terrors of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai.
Chapter 43. Direct 38. Maybe I was in the right chapter. Sirach 43 in 28, sorry, in 29, it says, the Lord is terrible and very great, and marvelous is his power.
Right. Hey, how about Shimei Al-Shai? Terrible and very great. Right?
It makes the light in the dark.
Right. Hey, through terrors, we persuade men.
Right.
All right.
The fear of the Lord.
Slack
You
in.
know,
Go. Slack in. That's what I was thinking of too.
the fear of the Lord is the true knowledge of wisdom. You know? That's the true what we should be persuaded in.
Right. Understanding the judgments.
Right.
Right. So once you understand the judgments, hey, understanding the judgments for going off in particular things that you do. Right. Once you understand that creates that fear. All right. Anybody, anything else? You got anything? All right. So with that, we're gonna give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all who give out their time preaching the truth with 140% sincerity, and the men, women, and children who live to love it, to the lion should double down the house of David. Next time we say Shalom, one above a ball. Devil is mad right now.